Snap back to reality. The kid's back on the microphone. Let's do this thing. LeBron James and the Cavaliers looking for revenge, and they got it 106-91 against doubles. But let's talk about it. LeBron James was expected to have a big bounce-back game. He had 33 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and the headband came back. But the question is, you're the Chicago Bulls. You're Tom Thibodeau, defensive expert. You know LeBron's going to be the guy focusing on himself, getting himself going. How were they so incapable of funneling him in the ways they wanted and stopping him, Dan Gladman? I know you got to get in here.
Well, first of all, let me say I'm really happy to be back in this chair. Now I can just say whatever I want. Look, LeBron invoked his will on this game, and this is what you're going to kind of have to expect.
But the Cleveland, sorry, not Cleveland, but Chicago's a defensive team. You know LeBron's coming to shoot them straight lines. Ahmad, tell me about what you would expect your coach to draw up against a guy like that.
Throw double teams. Throw double team. Make someone else beat you, because Kyrie's not shooting the ball particularly well.
Great point.
I would definitely, throw some double teams at him, but I mean, Steph's great. Steph Curry himself is great, but LeBron's also great, and he knows he had to have a big game, and I think he delivered. He
definitely delivered. It's showing, of course, in the highlights we just showed you. But let's talk about this now. We knew LeBron James was going to have a good game. Missing a couple of key parts. We talked about suspensions, injuries, so on and so forth. Who are the other Cavs, Devo, that surprised you? Because other guys had to pitch in for that.
Got to show some love, Tristan Thompson, man. Like, he's stepping up. Put him in that starting lineup and get gritty, get boards. Some toughness on the defensive end. He's getting a couple blocks each game. That's what they need from him.
How surprised were you, Dan, at the contributions they got from beyond the three-point line?
Well, James Jones.
Yes.
And Iman Shumpert, a guy not known to shoot the ball 4 for 5.
Well, and I said on our show back at the couch on Tuesday that Iman Shumpert isn't going to do that again, but now he's stepped up in games 1 and 2. And
I think everybody contributed. Like, they shot 46% from 3. That's ridiculous.
Okay, now let's talk about you want to talk about percentages?
Yeah.
The Bulls were held to 40% from the field. They were dominated in almost every statistical category. Were you surprised the Cleveland's ability to lock down the Bulls, their ability to turn up their defense and shut that team down? Because they've grown offensively with Saul on that lineup.
I think defense wins games, man. At the end of the day, and they have to. I mean, I watched game 1 or whatever, and they weren't defending.
No, I don't look at that roster and see a lot of defenders.
Yeah, I don't see it either.
I think Kyrie's a decent defender. I think LeBron, when he decides to play defense,
oh no, LeBron's a great defender.
Mozgov's slow, but he crowds up the paint, as does Tristan Thompson. So I think defensively they're not stars, but they're able to get that job done.
Look, the Bulls didn't come into game 2 with their A game.
Nope.
They had already accomplished their mission, which was to get a split and get it back to Chicago and see what they can do there. Cleveland is not going to set the world on fire with their defense, and that's not what's going to win them this round. But I would expect Chicago to come out like a house on fire in the first quarter of game 3, the same way the Cavs did last night.
Okay, now let me throw some numbers out at you guys. Let's dig into the numbers a bit. We did some research. We're looking at Kyrie Irving with 31 free throws, I believe. You're looking at Derrick Rose. How many free throws did Derrick Rose get? Zero. What does that mean?
That's absurd, because Derrick Rose, to me, the player he was, and he should be coming into his own, gets to the rim. I mean, he's going to the line. So to see that staggering stat.
Is that the injuries? Are they catering what he's doing?
I think it's good of the defense, but he's shooting that mid-range and outside shot. He's taken over 20 or more shots in both games. Kyrie took 9 shots yesterday and went to the line 12 times. He's being more aggressive. He's the one that's attacking more. And it could be the confidence from Derrick Rose and maybe the nagging injuries, but Kyrie's the one that's definitely going out there and setting the pace.
Okay, guys, we've seen this series. 2 games have been played. We saw what Cavs have done. We expect them to struggle without J.R. Smith. What do you expect from the Cavs when he returns, though? Because he is a very potent offensive player and a very erratic locker room guy.
Yeah, I think he's just going to come out and play well. He's got to. I mean, they need his help. They need his help from, a shooting perspective and just his presence.
Knowing the Chicago Bulls, they're going to do things to agitate this guy.
Yeah,
is he mentally composed enough to handle Joakim Noah on a screen?
If he hasn't learned his lesson now, then he's never going to. He's been suspended for the first 2 games. If I'm LeBron James, I'm having a little chat with him before the game, and I'm grabbing him by the neck, and I'm saying, JR, this means a lot to me. This means a lot to a lot of people. You'd better have your A game tonight, because we are counting on you. And I think if you're J.R. Smith, That's all it's going to take. A little chat from LeBron.
Okay, well, that does it for segment 2. I'm glad to be back. Much shouts out to Dan Gladman for holding us down in segment 1. When we return, though, segment 3, the third quarter, we got to talk about the guy that stole the MVP and the guy that came and stole the show, Mike Conley versus the Warriors. Steph Curry, where you at? The boys coming hot and heavy. Hangout returns.